from the Art of Grace Publishing House, and welcome to 2022. In the USA, it is still the 2nd of the 2nd, 22. What a beautiful day that was for me yesterday in Australia. And I just want to welcome everyone back to Authors in the Spotlight through our Amazon Live, our LinkedIn, our Facebook, and all the other binge network television channels that it goes through. And welcome back to the show. So we're going to continue with the series that we started before Christmas last year. But we have some, where we have some beautiful authors who are joining me today. And despite technical difficulties, despite their nervousness, they're all here. So Intuitive Speaking Her Truth was the second in the Intuitive series, and it is available on Amazon. You can click over there and you can watch us live from over on Amazon, and we would love you to do that and join us over there if you can't watch us through Facebook. Or even if you can, jump on over to Amazon, because you can purchase the books through there. Both the ebook and the paperback are out. And her sister book, who we did the first series on, Intuitive Knowing Her Truth, is also available. So please do jump on over there. I would like to welcome our first guest, who is actually a incredible woman who is currently in the midst of moving her daughter to university and big changes for their family, as well as writing her own solo book. And Linda is an incredible woman that I would like to welcome today. Being somebody who lives with a chronic illness, she decided to share that knowledge and her ideas around how you can work well with that in her own book, Invisible Woman. Thank you for joining me, Linda. Sorry you have to be on your phone today. I'm not sure that Linda can hear me. No, Linda can't hear me. We're not going to be able to have Linda on today. She'll have to come back next week. So being away from home is always something that creates technical challenges sometimes. So instead, we will move on and we will speak to the beautiful Dawn Delahunt. Dawn is a firecracker of a woman. She came into my life. We're not sure how we met, but also shared her chapter in Intuitive Speaking Her Truth. And Dawn actually connected with the soul of her baby before her baby has been born. Being a mature age woman, this is a challenge, and she has gone through a process and an emotional roller coaster ride. And she has shared that story in this book. And I implore you to check that out, because it is a beautiful, heartwarming story and something that I believe would have helped me to connect better with my children had I done it before they bought Earthside. Thank you, Dawn, for joining me. I would like to welcome Dawn to join us today.
Hello, Bridget.
So good to see you again. It's been a while since we've been able to chat. Happy 2022. Can you share with everyone a little bit about your story that you share in Intuitive Speaking Her Truth?
Sure. Well, it's about a little bit about my spiritual journey, but most of all, the chapter's called Baby Soul, Mother to Be, and Journey How to Get There. And it's all about me being a psychic medium, intuitive development coach, and me having the ability to connect to souls. And I connect to the souls of those that were lost and have crossed over, that's passed. I've also connected with the souls of children, whether it's, miscarriage, but also before they're born. And I know this from personal experience because I have been connecting with the soul of my baby that is soon to be born. And I'm on that journey now. So you guys are living in the moment in this chapter with me, and I'm still on the journey. It's been a very emotional, just hearing you speak about it, Bridget, kind of got me choked up, because it has been, and I'm still on it, and I'm very much determined, and she gives me the strength to keep going. And it's the connection and channeling through automatic writing, the messages, the signs, feeling her presence as I feel her right now. you know.
Yeah, I love that. And like I said, I think that if I had have done this with my children before they came Earthside, I would have had a better connection with them from the start, because I struggled with that through both of my babies. I think that it's something that we don't talk about enough, do we? Like, you are I don't want to say how old you are if you don't want to share it. If you want to, you can. But you are a mature woman who is going through a process to have a baby, and it's something that's not spoken about enough. And I love that you've shared in the chapter so raw and honestly, and I really appreciate that. Do you believe that it helps other women to see that this is possible?
Absolutely. And I don't mind sharing my age. I have been on this journey. I got married late in life. So I got married at the age of 42. And then I had a lot of challenges that came up about it, which there's only so much you could do in one chapter. So I didn't go into all the details of my journey. But with I had a client, go over some hurdles. And then finally I restarted the process at the age of 48. And then we got shut down with COVID, and I've been continuing. And then everyone will get to see all the ups and downs during that journey in the book. But with that, I'm still currently trying, and I'm in, going through the cycles again, and all good to come. But I am at the age of 51, and it is possible. And the reason why I said it does inspire people is because I was inspired by someone, and I have her in my phone programmed in as mom in her 50s. And I was 45 when I started talking to her. And she's the one that inspired me that with modern medical miracles, a lot can happen. And in the determination and the will. And that's, really what it takes. And I do know for a fact that it has inspired people, because people have reached out to me and asked me about who I'm going to, how I'm getting it done. I also go live every day. I'm on a 5-5-5-day challenge, going live every day. So they saw me through my ups and downs of it all. They saw me, I was live on the day that, I had to deal with pain and loss, and I had to show up. And by showing up for my audience, to my students and my clients, by showing up to them, it really has helped me, because I know it keeps me going, that I'm inspiring them. So I'm very much excited to be a stand for other women that are older, because it is possible with a little faith, determination, willpower, and getting connected with the right people, on it. But most importantly, having that faith and connecting with that soul. And she keeps me going. She talks to me, and she talks to friends, and you can't make it up when I get my embryos and they're all girls. So it's like, 5 embryos and they're all girls.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is an incredible journey, isn't it? Like the emotional roller coaster you must have when it doesn't connect, and when it does connect and then it doesn't stay. It's something that, I am honored that you shared that through one of our publications. And I think that it's something that, like I say, it's not spoken about enough. IVF is often something that people feel that they're a failure, so they have to go down this road. And it's not. Like you said, that mum in her 50s, she told you there's modern miracles are happening because of what we're able to do. And I think that that's something that we need to really explore further and talk about more. Dawn, what is it that you do? You work with angels, and I'm just changing track now. We want to talk about your connection to angels and how you bring that into your work.
Well, I have to say, what I am passionate about, what my purpose is, that I awaken people to their gifts. We are all special. We are all gifted. We all have intuitive abilities. We're all psychic. We're all intuitive. We're all mediums. We all can connect to our angels, our guides, and our loved ones. And what I do is I help people, give them the tools to let them know they can. hear, see, feel, and know that the angels, their guides, their loved ones are all around them. And what the beautiful thing is that a lot of times we have ups and downs in life, and we need to reach to that higher loving power. And that higher loving power is God, the angels. So that is my purpose. I teach intuitive development workshops such as angel cards, automatic writing, and as well as mediumship. So they could use these tools in however they want. I've had people that have become authors from my automatic writing because they're channeling. I've had people that help become angel card readers, become mediums. And I have people that live in their everyday life and they're more intuitive and they're a better mother, a better sister, a better brother, a better friend, just by connecting to that greater power. We have two voices inside us. We have that love, and we have that loving voice, and we have that ego that keeps us down. And it's all about connecting with that higher power of love, God of your understanding, whatever it is you believe, and really truly fulfilling your purpose to rise above and see the love in everything and get through, find the hope.
Oh, Dawn, you move me. It's like you create this connection already with the angels. And I loved when we first connected, what really drew me to you was your business name is Angel Eyes with Dawn Marie, or
Yes.
Angel Eyes Dawn Marie, angeleyesdawnmarie.com. And it's just something that it really drew me in because, I see angels, and it's something that used to scare me. And I think that it's something that if you don't realize that there's a deeper power in that and that you can actually work with them, it is something that you could be scared of and run away from. So if you are in that position, Dawn Marie is your woman. Now, don't forget to jump on over to Amazon Live and grab your copy of Intuitive. Oh, you've got yours there too. Awesome. Intuitive Speaking Her Truth. You can grab the Kindle copy or a paperback. I love paperback. It's just so good to feel it in your hands. And the book feels so good. It's almost got a waxy finish to it, hasn't it, Dawn?
Yes, I love it. I'm very grateful. I have to say, the whole experience, being part of it, I've always wanted to write. I have 60 pages written. I know I got my solo book coming too. And, I've always wanted to write. I actually looked back at one of my, because I did a manifesting class recently. I looked back at one of my journals and it says to be a published author, international bestseller. I think I wrote of many spiritual books. And I love that you helped me fulfill my dream. I'm so grateful for you because if a lot of these things go on the list of someday, and you helped make that dream possible by being a part of this amazing book of all these women with their stories. And I am so grateful and so honored to be here with you. And I'm looking forward to continuing my journey with you because I feel like we're going to do stuff together. It's not over, Bridget. It's not over.
Well, I loved when we hosted the masterclass where we talked about storytelling and how you can do that intuitively. Like you said, you do, what do you call it? Automated writing?
Yes.
Yeah. And very similar, isn't it? Like how I talk about it and how you talk about it, just using the different words. And I think that's something that everybody can do. That's my thing with, being an indie publisher. It's really easy to have your story published. Like you don't have to go to the big publishing houses and have that. So I appreciate you saying that, Dawn. But it's the women who come into it and create that collective as well. What would you say about did it help with your visibility? Did it help with you to expand your network?
I have to say, so many of my students, people that are purchasing. One of my students currently, she's in my angel card class, and she goes, I have to say, I'm loving this book. I just flip the page open and open up to the message I need to hear. And it's exactly resonating with me. And it was just beautiful to see that she's getting something out of, not just my chapter, but she's getting something out of the rest of the women's chapter. So yeah, and my center, the Long Island Healing Arts and Learning Center, it's, where I do all my in-person classes. I've been with them for 10 years. We're going on our 10-year anniversary. I'm not an owner, but they make me feel like an owner. They're selling the book for me, and it's just been amazing to be there. It gives me a sense of pride. And I even had a fellow author who he just wrote a book, and he gave me the biggest compliment. He goes, I really felt your words. And when you could feel someone's words, that's a good writer. And I was like, wow, thank you. That was like the biggest compliment I could have got, because, we always put ourselves down. Like, I can't do it. We put these limited beliefs, but no. And especially when it's connected to God and the angels and your baby soul, of course it's going to be good. And that's what you do. You get us to that place, and you made it easy for me too, and reminding me of things I know already, but haven't been applying to myself, So it's been a wonderful thing to actually take the action and do the, get the book with you and get it done. And I'm just so grateful.
I'm so grateful that you shared too. And that's the thing, when people get vulnerable, their writing is exceptional. And that's what happens, repetitively with the Art of Grace Publishing House books. And I implore people to jump on over to Amazon and grab a copy if you don't already have it, because it is an incredible book. And like you said, Dawn, I had somebody come up to me in the supermarket, and she said to me, I am loving your intuitive books. She got both of them, and she said, I'm just about to start reading them again, because she said, they have changed my life. The way that these women look at life, and the way that they said, they're just ordinary women, and they have been able to connect with themselves and create a new life for themselves. She said, it's so inspiring to me. And she said, I thought I had no hope left. And I was nearly crying in the supermarket aisles. And yeah, she really moved me. And it was a beautiful thing to hear face to face as well. So thank you for sharing so vulnerably. Yes. If people want to reach out to you, obviously angelizeddawnmarie.com, but how else can they find you on social media?
Yeah, I actually, my Instagram, I go live every day. I'm on my 555-day challenge, and I keep extending it. Started as 30, then went to 90, then 365. So yeah, I do go live giving messages from your angels of hope and healing. That would be on Facebook. That would be at Angel Eyes Dawn Marie is my handle. Same with Instagram, Angel Eyes Dawn Marie. It's on my business page of Facebook, and they could connect with me on Facebook, Dawn Marie Delahunt as well. And of course on my website, and that's where all my upcoming classes, I'm doing a 222 manifesting class, and be your own medium, because I really am passionate to let everyone know we're all special and we're all gifted, just like you are. I love that our purpose is very, it's one and the same. We're all here to inspire people.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, so Dawn will pop over to My Time TV Facebook page and to the Bridget Facebook page, and actually put those links in for you to be able to find her later. Thank you so much for being with me, Dawn. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. God bless, and thank you again. I'm honored to be here.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
So Dawn is a firecracker, and the next woman we are going to speak to, I just want to grab her. I had it marked, and I've lost my little mark. I just want to grab her bio, because I want to read you a little bit of that. Incredible woman who doesn't actually understand how powerful she is, and recently went through a trauma that was something that gave her a fright, but also led her on another spiritual journey. So just want to share with you, Carolyn is a hypnotherapist, a yoga instructor, and a business energy advisor. She's passionate about teaching women how to change the way they look at life by cultivating meaningful mindset shifts while harnessing their energy through yoga, meditation, and breath work. I would love to welcome Caroline to join us. And Caroline and I are looking to do some work together in the near future. Hello, Caroline. Thank you for joining me.
Bridget.
I wanted you to, first of all, share what you spoke about in your chapter in Intuitive, so that people can grab their copy and be able to, learn more about you, but just share a little snippet from what you shared in the book.
Okay. So the title of my chapter is called Finding True North. And my Instagram name, way back when Instagram started, my Instagram handle is called True North Tribe. And never with the intention of taking anything, just calling it True North Tribe, because I had this obsession of always finding True North. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to call it True North Tribe. So here I am all these years later with this is everything. Everything is True North. So True North, the meaning behind True North is finding your direction, basically. So when you point a compass true north, then you know where you should know at that point where you are standing if your compass is pointing north. So that's why I chose True North, because people, I feel like, are always searching for their true north. And if they're not searching for their true north, then I would maybe say that they might be lost. So that's why my whole thing is True North Tribe. So my chapter, do you want me to keep going about my chapter a little bit about it?
Yes,
okay.
Please.
Okay. So I felt compelled to, I guess, document my journey and how I went on my path of finding True North. And real short, funny story. I lived in South Florida for my whole life. And I go to my hairdresser one day and I'm like, okay, Dan, I want to be a yoga instructor. And he's like, Caroline, you don't even meditate. I cannot even convince you to meditate. And here all this time, this instructor, he's an Elvis impersonator. He does all of this biofeedback. He's always talking to me about hypnotherapy and meditation. And Caroline, you need to be more centered and you just need to calm down. And you're just always like on the go. You need to like settle yourself. So when I went, I told him that. He started laughing at me. He's like, Caroline, you cannot meditate. So how are you going to teach yoga? So I was like, well, then I'm just going to do it. I'm going to start going to yoga. He's like, do you own a yoga mat? And I'm like, nope. So I'm going to go, I'm going to get my yoga mat. I'm going to start doing yoga. And then I'm going to be an instructor. And that's what I did. And so in doing that, it started to lead me down all of these other different paths. And that's kind of how it all started. And then, of course, in the process, years later, we move from South Florida to Orlando, and we go through all kinds of upheaval and drama and you name it. And all of those things really played an integral part in me being successful in getting through all of that, because I had so many tools to use to help me move forward. And the book really was it wasn't really on my radar. It was on my, what do you call it? Like a vision board for me to do a book. But it was getting towards the end of the year. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make this whole book thing. Like, I just didn't do it. And sure enough, I log on to the Brains Facebook group, and there's Bridget promoting this book. And I thought, oh, well, this sounds really interesting. It's not me writing a whole book. It's me contributing to a book. But why not? Why don't I just try that? And so I reached out to Bridget, and she gave me a little bit of background of what the book was about and what to do. And then I kind of questioned, like, well, is my story really worth telling? Like, is it really going to make a difference if I tell that story, or if I tell all the things that led up to this point in my life? And I realized that we all have these significant stories to tell. And although we might be living them individually and nobody knows all of these things, we've embodied that strength and that courage and that wisdom. And it's almost, it's a travesty if we don't share that, because we could help one more person. We could be a light for someone else. And, you know, speaking of stories, this whole thing with the Miss America committing suicide, it was just like, that really shook me hard, because I thought to myself, there wasn't one more person that she could call. Like, did she really exhaust all resources before coming to that decision that she no longer could face getting up the next morning? And I never want to think that one of my friends or family or someone that's dear to me, or even someone that's not dear to me, because this has really like made me just look at it completely differently. And after what I just went through back in Christmas time, you know, that could have been it for me. I came very close. If not, I was there, but I was pushed back, because there's still work to be done. There's still lives to be touched. There's still books to be written. There's still chapters to be finished. There's still projects to work on with Bridget. There's still podcasts to be recorded. So we all have lots to share in our lives, and we need to keep creating that cultivating those connections with people, because that's what we've lost, I think, in the last couple of years during this pandemic, is that the connection between people, and just the heart space, and just the connections. You know, we're human, and we need that. And we need that we've got this, we can do this, we can, you know, you don't have to wait to call me when you're you know, destitute. Call me whenever, you know what I mean? Like, and just teaching people to find their inner truth, to believe in themselves, to know that there's always a choice, and there is hope. There's light, but you have to be willing to want to see the light. You have to be willing to surrender to all of the things in order to be able to feel what you need to feel to move forward. And that's what I hope my chapter brings to whomever reads it.
Well, I know for me, it brought me to a space where I examined where am I not facing my true north? Where am I letting myself down by not actually having that ability to, you know, be true to myself? And that was a really good exploration for me. And it cemented for me that, you know, I was born to do publishing and help women to share their stories with the world, however they may do that. And it's something that, you know, your chapter really lit that fire underneath me to know that that's where my path leads, and I need to do more of it. I need to do more writing, and I need to do more collaborations so that more women get the opportunity to share their stories. Because like you said, it's just a chapter, it's not a whole book. You mentioned there about not having one more person to call, and I think that that's something that is, I would love to have a whole topic talk about suicide and suicide prevention and stuff. But just on that, I just wanted to say that, yes, if you know, reach out to somebody you don't even know is still okay. So don't ever think that you're alone on the planet, and to reach out and ask for help. Caroline, you did touch on that back in December you came close to not being with us anymore. Would you just share a little bit about what happened and how afterwards you felt?
So it was just a regular night, and I finished a spin class, and I needed to go to the grocery store. And I told my daughter normally goes with me to the grocery store. And this particular night, she said, no, I'm just going to stay and start cooking the pasta, and I'm not going to go. You just go by yourself. And I'm so grateful that that's what she decided to do that night. And I know that my angels and guides and God, Jesus, whomever, my dad, I don't know, I ended up being in a really bad car accident a half a mile from my house. And the odd thing about the whole situation was my daughter called right probably 5 minutes after the accident happened to tell me that the power had gone out at the house, not knowing that I had just been in this accident. And it was at first when a car cut me off, came across, the median, and I hit them head on. I T-boned them. And at that impact, I remember telling myself that I was going to die. This was it. Because I knew that I couldn't stop the car fast enough. I knew I was going to hit them hard. And that was what came to me. And then everything went dark. And I couldn't hear anything else. I couldn't see anything else. The only thing I saw when I hit the car was a flash of light, and everything went dark. And I felt just like I was nowhere. I felt floating, but it was in darkness. It wasn't I wasn't in a pasture. I wasn't in anything else. And then the next impact was I thought that I had been hit by another car in oncoming traffic, but I had hit the telephone pole. And that's what brought me to. But afterwards, it really made me feel like, that could have been it. But for some reason, it just wasn't time. And I don't, I believe heavily in energetics, and, we draw things into our magnetic field. And at that time, I couldn't really understand, why would I have drawn this accident that traumatized me? Why would I have drawn that into my field? And the only thing that kept coming back to me after I did several breathwork sessions, I did several meditation, I did all kinds of stuff just to help clarify anything, just to get me out of that funk that I was in, because it was like a part of me was gone. And, Dawn can probably, when your guides start talking and they start explaining to you, the message was basically you weren't believing what your truth was. So in order for you to really believe this, a part of you needed to go.
Wow.
And you needed to come back to realize that you are strong, you are courageous, and you are valued. And I think that was, that's maybe what I needed to hear. I don't know. But it's been hard, but it's been, I'm grateful for it. And sometimes it feels like it's literally a dream. Like I don't believe that I went through something like that and I actually walked away from it, because I don't think I should have walked away from it. But I did. And maybe it's just for me to be able to tell my story and to share with other people to, we're here in this lifetime, and it seems like it's a long time, but your day could be over and you don't even realize it. And that's exactly what happened to me. You're driving for 5 minutes to the grocery store, and the next thing you know, you don't know where you are.
I know, it's incredible. It's incredible to think that, you were this close. And it's, I'm so grateful you're still here. Like, what a story. It's, I really do believe that, these things, I agree with you, these things happen because we've called them in, or they're a message from our higher self, the divine, the universe, God, whatever you call it. It's something that is evident in lots of people's lives. And I just, trusting that this is happening for a reason or something that is difficult when it's such a traumatic experience.
Mm-hmm.
Your hypnotherapy, did that help you get through as well?
Yes, I did some self, hypnosis on me. And I also did a lot of breath work afterwards. And it really helps to take away the subconscious does so much. The subconscious does good things for us, and then the subconscious can also do things to completely sabotage us on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And so when you get out of that conscious brain of constantly like, why is this happening? Why is this not here? Why did I go through this? Why is this happening now? What is going on over here? What you could go why all day long. But when you get into the subconscious, you're able to just shut the conscious off and let the subconscious take over and tell you what you need to know, tell you what you need to do. And it really, it stops that barrier of, I don't know what's going on.
Mm.
And the most inner part of you is allowed to speak up. But the only way that you can access that is if you relax yourself and you go through your own, self-hypnosis, or having someone hypnotize you through a session. And there's only so much you can do in a session by yourself, although it is possible for you to make shifts and changes through self-hypnosis. But when you have someone doing a session with you, I'm able to help pull things out, and I'm able to keep continuing the questioning of the inner self. I'm able to keep asking questions. Well, what am I supposed to do here? And what is she seeing over here? And why is this? And your higher self just starts the conversation.
Yeah.
So I am blessed, like, with all the tools that I have. I think that's the only thing that's helped me get through this, honestly, is all the tools that I've created within myself and learned all of these years to help get me through this. And I'm very grateful. And it's no surprise to me that, your book, Now Seeing Her Truth, it's just, I did see it.
Yeah.
I saw it happen right in front of me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you can't make that stuff up. Like, nobody would have, even like when I found you and you told me the title of your book, it was just, again, like, my opportunity now to speak my truth. Like, how perfect was that? It was so divine.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. So just to give context to what Caroline is talking about, Intuitive is a series. So Intuitive Knowing Her Truth is available on the Amazon link. Intuitive Speaking Her Truth is available on the Amazon link. And we are currently recruiting for authors for Intuitive Seeing Her Truth, which Caroline is actually signed up to do a chapter in as well, which is incredible. And I'm so grateful that you're going to be sharing more about you and how you saw your truth through these last few years. Thank you for joining us, Debbie and Roz, on Facebook. We're really pleased to have you here over on Women in Business Amplified or through My Time TV Live. And it's lovely to have you both here. And sorry, Roz, the notification didn't come through early enough, but thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. So I've just been talking to Caroline about her chapter in Intuitive Speaking Her Truth, about her finding her own true north and how we can all find our own true north. Caroline, what work are you doing in the world now with people?
So and that was another thing I wanted to talk about, is the fact that, right, I had been saying I was going to start a podcast forever and a day. And the book was like, yep, if you're gonna speak your truth, now's the time to start your podcast. So there we go. So that was another benefit to the book, to doing the book, is that it opened up the channels of me speaking my voice. So there I started my podcast. So I have my podcast, Tried and True with Caroline. And I've got a course which is ready to launch. And so that's pretty much what I'm working on, and still doing, one-on-ones with, people who want to do hypnotherapy. I've consulted, some clients with business energy, where they feel stuck. How do they get started? What do they need to be doing? And I've also found that I like doing like the entrepreneurial, helping people set their, do certain like creative things with getting their work out there. So yeah, I'm doing kind of a lot of different things, but I like it. I enjoy all the different facets of what I do.
That's fantastic, and I love working with you. You are very creative, and you have some brilliant ideas, and I can't wait to reveal to the world in the coming months what we are doing together. It's a little bit of a secret at the moment, so you have to watch this space. Caroline, thank you so much for being with me. You will pop into Bridget and to My Time TV and Women in Business Amplified Facebook groups if you can, to put your links in there so people can find you if they're looking forward to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I am so grateful that Linda has been able to find her sound. She had her voice when she did Speaking Her Truth, that's for sure. Linda is an incredible woman, and I'd like to welcome her to join me as I just introduce her. She is a Darwin woman who is somebody that I had the pleasure of meeting face to face. Now, that's an exciting thing to be able to do with one of your authors when we work so online these days, and it was just before Darwin went into lockdown, so we literally had breakfast, and then by the time she was heading home, we were in lockdown, and it was incredible to be able to meet you. Thank you so much for joining us, Linda, and I'm so sorry you needed to get out to look at units with your daughter, and we've held you up. I didn't realize you were back, but you can hear us now and we can hear you, so welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much. And, it's quite okay because, as we all know in this book, things turn out the way they're supposed to turn out. And who knows, the delay of me sitting here in this room with Micah might mean that we avoid what Caroline was just talking about. You just don't know, do you? So there's no point stewing. Yeah. And it's just been an absolute delight to hear what both Dawn and Caroline have been talking about. Incredible. Such incredible stories. Yeah,
that's the thing with these multi-author books. That's the thing. There's so much power in the stories and so many incredible stories. And because you've got that limited amount of time, you really do get to the crux of the matter. What I want to talk about with you is not so much your part in wrong book. Intuitive Speaking Her Truth. We will get to that. But first of all, I want to talk to you about, you really came to share in Intuitive Speaking Her Truth. Yes, to share your story, but two, to test out me, to see if it was a publishing route you wanted to go down, and you found that, yes, it was. So you've moved on to writing your own book, Invisible Woman. I would like you to share why you went from writing a chapter to writing a whole book. Was it because you felt that it was easy now because you saw how easy it was to write a chapter, or was it because you thought, yes, this is going to make an impact in the world? Was it a combination of things? Just share with us what it was.
Okay, yeah, look, there were a combination of factors. I have had a book brewing within me for a few years, and I knew that this year was the year that I was going to write it. What I wasn't sure about, actually, it was last year that I made the really clear decision, this is it, I'm writing my book. I wasn't sure how I was going to go about it and publish it and market it and all that sort of thing, whether I was going to self-publish or whether I was going to, look at getting in with a big publishing house and seeing if I could go through their process. And then your name popped up, as it's been doing on, I think each of us have said that so far, your name popped up at just the right time. And in actual fact, it wasn't Intuitive Speaking Her Truth, it was Fuck Motherhood was the first one.
Oh my gosh,
that I wrote for you.
God, I'm silly.
Yeah, and that was that was the story where I went, oh, goodness me, which of my fuck motherhood stories will I share in this book? I've got so many. But yeah, basically I signed up to do that project with you to check you out, to see what is it like to work with Bridget, what is the writing process like, and what is the promotional and marketing aspect like working with you, because we can all write books and we can get them published, but to get them out there to the people who need them, that's the key. It's the key to really get it out there. It's no good having these words sitting inside your computer or sitting on a shelf somewhere in a bookshop. We actually need them to be in the hands of the people who need to read them. So, you know, the process of working with you has really helped me up-level my confidence, up-level my reach, up-level my networking skills, and to really claim the authority that sharing your story gives you. Yeah, it's just a whole new level of really owning the essence of who you are and acknowledging publicly and to yourself, I really do have some important stuff here to share, and people are saying thank you to me for sharing it. You know, I've had people message me privately about the stories that I've shared in both Fuck Motherhood and in Visible Woman. Speaking Her Truth. Goodness me.
You're getting as confused as I am.
Oh, yeah. But people have messaged me privately to tell me, thank you, I needed to hear that. That turned up in my field at just the right time. And when you get that confirmation, it really helps settle right deep into your soul. Yeah, it is actually okay for me to share my story because it is helping somebody else. You know, it's I'm a highly introverted person, so sharing my story was a very scary thing. And I think for all of the women who've spoken today and who have written in each of the books that I've been in, you know, we share some really deeply vulnerable, scary stuff about what happened in our life. And that, I think you're right, you said that before, that's what really gives the power to our stories, is the fact that we own what happened and can speak about it and can show that instead of holding us down, it's actually allowed us to step up and step out. So, yeah, bad things happen. We go through shit, but that doesn't have to define you. You know, it can really open so much out to you. And if you can, you know, cotton onto that and see how somebody else has done it and get through the darkness following their thread of light through a similar pathway, you know, you can come out the other side and you'll have something of value and beauty and worth, not only for yourself, but to share with somebody else who's, you know, walking a similar path that you've just walked along. So it's really powerful work.
It's a beautiful thing to be able to read these stories, and I implore people to jump on over to the Amazon Live link and you can purchase direct from there. Being able to have the book and read the stories is really where the power lies. So not just hearing what the authors are saying today, but being able to read their stories in depth. And the other book you can also grab from the same Amazon link is the F Motherhood book that Linda did contribute to, and silly me, you know, beginning of the new year, and I completely forgot about that. Sorry, Linda. Zoe has joined us. Thanks for being here, Zoe. It's lovely to have you. And Roz has said, she laughed and she said, don't all mothers have the F motherhood stories? And it's so true, Roz. We all do. It is actually a very powerful book, and it's not about us saying that you need to not be a mother. It's about, you know, having things to empower you as a mother and to see what struggles other mothers have had and come through the other side with. So it's a beautiful book. Linda, going back to intuitive speaking her truth now, can you share with the listeners what it is that you touched on in your chapter?
Certainly. My chapter is actually called The Art of Discernment. And just like, you know, the other authors who've spoken this morning, it's very much about coming into realization of what your personal truth is. And I think for all of us, you know, we have a truth, and whether it's due to fear, whether it's due to societal and cultural expectations and programming, whether it's familial expectations and programming, we sometimes obscure that truth, and we often even trick ourselves, you know, we delude ourselves about what our truth is. And my story is sort of about the slow dawning realization of, you know, that my truth, I had always been speaking my truth without realizing it, and seeing that truth as being a flaw rather than what is actually my strength, which is I'm a very heart-based woman and I'm a very emotive and feeling woman. And so, you know, I worked in an industry that was very analytical and head-based. And, you know, as an example, they would, you know, everything was prefaced with, I think, my opinion is, my observation. These types of words really clued you into where they're coming from. And in that world came me, and I'd sit there and go, but I feel like this, I feel that should be. And I would get, you know, people looking at me going, yeah, but what do you think? I'm like, well, I feel. And so I would think there was something wrong with me because I couldn't formulate an argument that was based on I think or my opinion is or, you know, my analysis is. It was always about I feel. And it took, you know, going through motherhood, it took going through trying to be a mum to 4 children and working full-time in an industry that I just didn't fit into to realise that this I feel bit was actually me being a heart-based woman sitting in my heart, speaking my truth from my heart. So now I do that every day in an industry that welcomes that approach, because these days I'm actually a healer. These days I work with women with chronic illness and we look at how to transcend that particular disease or condition and use what's going on for you as a process of ascension, rather than sitting in a world of, oh my God, this has happened to me, it's not fair, I can't cope with this, how can I just fix this and go back to the way I was? Instead, it's changing perspectives, and it's being accepting of what's actually entered your life. And similar to what you were talking about with Caroline, why have we drawn this in? What is it that I need to learn from this experience? It's not just something I need to get over and move on. There's something here for me to work with. So it took me many years to come to this understanding and this realization. And now that I'm there, it's like I can't possibly not share this. I have to share this, which is why I'm writing that book. That other book with you. Yeah,
and I love that, and it's a great segue to talk about Invisible Woman. Now you are, you know, this is focused on women with chronic health issues, but it can still help those of us who are going through change of life.
Absolutely. You know, I've used chronic illness as the illustrating point, I guess, because I'm speaking from my personal experience of a woman who lives with fibromyalgia. So, you know, I've got some great strategies and tips to help you deal with pain and exhaustion and those sort of things. But the process itself, the understanding itself, can be applied to whatever challenge is rising up for you at that moment. So whether that's transitioning through different stages of your life, whether that's recovering from surgery, whether it's a traumatic experience that you've had, you know, these things are bringing messages to you. They're bringing things to the surface that are lying deep in the subconscious that have been trying to get your attention and haven't had success. So they've manifested in a way that you can't ignore it.
Yeah.
They manifest in a way that you have to actually go, oh,
I need
all
to
right,
do
then I better stop and deal with this.
Yeah. I need
Yeah.
to do something here. I don't know what it is quite yet, but I need to do something here. I think that, through reading some of the chapters that you've submitted so far, it's something for me that I have learned so much about myself through that process, because there's a cough that I get when I eat certain foods, and I continue to eat those foods. And I know that it's caused by those foods, and I continue to eat them. And it's like, Bridget, you're going to keep getting this cough until you stop eating those foods. And it's something that, my body was just telling me that. And it was your book opened my eyes to the fact that that was happening. And I don't have a chronic illness, and that helped me to overcome that. I still have those foods sometimes, though, and still get that cough. So it is something that I still do, but I'm very aware of it, and I make a conscious decision. Okay, am I going to put up with the cough for a couple of days after I eat this, or am I going to choose not to eat it today? So, that book has really helped me, even though it's not published yet.
Yeah.
I have privy to pre-launch information. Yeah. Sorry, what were you going to say about that?
I was just going to say, and that's the thing, I don't give a prescription or any rigid protocol or any do's and don'ts. It's merely a process for you to make conscious decisions, and that's exactly it. If you enjoy those foods and they taste good, and in the moment you get a lot of delight and enjoyment from them, knowing that over the next couple of days I'm going to have this irritating cough, you get to decide, well, what's more important? What's going to irritate me more, missing out on that sensation right now here in the moment, or dealing with that cough 2 days later? If I know that I'm going to eat this food and I'm going to have that cough, okay, you can choose.
Yeah.
It's not about denial. It's not about self-denial. It's all about choice.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's your place of power.
Yeah, that's right. It is. It's our own power. Yeah. Roz has said it's a great read through each of the stories, and she's directly speaking about intuitive speaking her truth, which you can jump on over to Amazon and purchase your Kindle or Amazon copy. I am sorry, today I haven't been able to log into the Amazon from my phone. It's been playing up, so I'm sorry if you're commenting over there. I'm so glad you're with us, and hope you grab your copies of the book, and we'd love to hear from you. Please do reach out to us directly if you through Facebook Messenger, through our Facebook page, Bridget, or let us know you were there through Women in Business Amplified or My Time TV Live. But grabbing your copy is a great way to actually see and hear more about the women that you've seen today speak. Adair said, our intuition is incredible. It just moved. Is incredibly powerful. I was reading it and it jumped up because the links are being put in, so it's a lovely way to see. Our intuition is incredibly powerful. Roz has said she also read the F Motherhood book. Thank you, Roz. We do appreciate your support, and we love that you really got something out of the stories. Thank you so much for being with us, Linda. You will pop into the Facebook pages and let everybody know how they can contact you. And would you like to share with everybody, Invisible Woman is going to be published this year. Do you have a launch date for that?
I'm aiming for the 31st of May, which happens to be daughter number 3's birthday, so that's an auspicious date.
That's
so 31 May.
31st of May, pop it in your calendar, people, because this is an incredible book for women to read, whether you have a chronic illness or not. It's a powerful book that will help you shift things in your life that you didn't realise need shifting. Linda, is there anything you would like to share before you leave?
Notice the patterns around you, notice the patterns within you, and honour what you see in yourself as your truth, and find a way to be comfortable with bringing that truth to the surface and sharing it with the rest of the world, because that's what the world needs. That inner bit of you that you might be too scared to share, that's the bit we need. Yeah.
Incredible way to end the show. Thank you so much, Linda, for being with me. I really appreciate it, and I shall talk to you again soon. Good luck with your unit hunting. Thank you, everyone, for being with us today. It is a beautiful conversations that we had today, and I do implore you to jump on over, grab any number one of our books from the Amazon link that is in the Facebook pages there, or if you're over on Amazon, grab our books and have a read. Let us know what you think. And we will be back next week with another group of authors from Intuitive Speaking Her Truth. Thanks to our producer today, Adair Palmer, for being in the background and getting all of the glitches organized. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye for now. See you all next week.